The dust tastes of iron. Cal feels it on his teeth as he watches the great eland shudder its last. His spear, a thick shaft of fire-minus hardened wood, is buried deep in the beast's flank, a testament to a lifetime of strength. But it is not his spear that brought the creature down. It is the slender, flint-minus-tip dart lodged cleanly in the animal's throat that did the real work. That dart belongs to Law. Cal grips the worn wood of his own weapon, his knuckles white. For 20 winters, his was the arm that fed the clan. His the eye that read the tracks. His the name the children whispered with reverence. Now, the whispers change their shape. He sees it in the firelight later, as the women carve the carcass with practice. Bloody hands, their best cuts, delivering the heart, are offered first not to him, but to the boy. You're barely a man, who throws his spears not with the shoulder-minus-wrenching power of his elders, but with a flick of the wrist, a strange and deadly grace. His tools are different. 2 smaller, sharper points of stone, bound to thin, straight shafts with sinew and pitch. A new kind of killing. A quiet kind. This is the unforgiving calculus of prehistoric life for these early Homo sapiens. What works survives. What is slow, or heavy, or resistant to the changing wind, is forgotten. A deep, unfamiliar coldness gnaws at Kale's gut, a hunger the richest marrow cannot fill. He watches Law share a piece of roasted fat with the old woman, Barrett, her face a web of wrinkles breaking into a rare smile. He sees the younger women watch Law, their eyes holding a new light. They used to watch him that way. This feeling has no name, no shape in his mind. It is a poison seeping into the marrow of his pride. Later, when the others sleep, curled together for warmth against the immense, star-minus dusty dog, Kale walks to the edge of the camp. He finds one of Law's darts, discarded after the hunt. He picks it up. It feels impossibly light. A toy. Yet this toy's tool is Kale, his place. It is the future, and he is holding it in his hand, and he hates it. This moment is a fault line in hominid history, a silent tremor in the bedrock of a clan's foundation, a shift imperceptible to all but the man being left behind by the relentless current of human evolution. The poison has a taste now, sharp and metallic, like blood held too long in the mouth. Days bleed into one another, marked only by the sun's climb and fall. Kale watches. He studies Law's hands, the deft way they work a piece of flint, the patience in the way he binds it to a shaft. It is a new kind of craft, a deadly evolution in their ancient arms race against hunger. This is the art of primitive technology, not just as a tool for survival, but as a source of status, of life itself. The envy in Kale's heart is a stone, cold and heavy. One night, when the moon is a sliver and the fire has dwindled to embers, he moves. The others are deep in sleep, their breathing a soft rhythm in the vast silence of the African savanna. He finds Law's quiver of hunting darts, laid carefully beside his sleeping form. He selects the one with the finest point, the one Law had spent all afternoon perfecting. With a sliver of obsidian he keeps for skinning. Kale works quickly, silently. He doesn't break the point. That would be seen. Instead, he etches a tiny, deep line near the base where the flint is half dead to the wood. A flaw hidden by the sinew binding, a splinter in the weighting. It is an act of profound betrayal, a corruption of the trust that holds their small world together. The next hunt is for giant buffalo, Pleistocene megafauna of immense power and fury. The clan needs this kill. The eland is a memory, and their bellies are beginning to ache with a familiar emptiness. They track the beast for a full day, moving like ghosts through the tall grass. The plan is simple, brutal, docked a bit towards a gully where its movement is hampered. Dur, with his speed and the deadly accuracy of his darts, is to deliver the first crippling blow the moment arrives. The beast, cornered, bellows a challenge, its great horns carving the air. Nor is a blow of motion. He uses the throwing stick, the atlet, whipping the dart forward with terrifying velocity. It flies true, but on impact, the sound is wrong. not the solid thump of piercing hardened flesh, but a brittle crack. The flint head shatters, exploding into useless fragments against the buffalo's thick boss. The spear does not penetrate. The pain only enrages the animal. It reels, its eyes burning with fury, and charges not at Law, but at the nearest hunter, a young man named Tirake. There is no time to react. Ihorn catches Tirake in the side, lifting him from the ground and tossing him like a bundle of sticks. Kale roars, a sound of pure instinct, and drives his own heavy spear into the beast's shoulder. It is not a killing blow, but it is enough. The buffalo, wounded and confused, thunders away into the grasslands. The hunt is over. Tirake lies gasping on the ground, his blood a shocking stain on the dry earth. Law stares at the splintered end of his spear shaft, his face a mask of disbelief and shame. Kale stands over the broken body of the boy, his heart a frantic drum. The architect of a disaster far greater than one failed hunt, the silent evidence of his act, a future puzzle for some unborn science of archaeology, has cost them more than just a meal. It has cost them their blood. They do not speak on the long walk back. The only sounds are Tirake's ragged breaths and the shuffling of feet on dry earth. He dies just as the familiar shape of their rock shelter comes into view. There is no ceremony, just a quiet, heavy finality. The hunger is a physical pain now, but a deeper wound has been opened in the clan's spirit. That night, the fire is small. No one looks at Law. No one looks at Kale. The silence is an accusation aimed at the fates. But no, the old woman whose eyes have seen more seasons than anyone can count, does not believe in the fates. She believes in cause, while the others mourn. She sits with the broken pieces of Law's dart, her gnarled fingers, a living map of their hominid history. Trace the lines of the fracture. Her touch is a form of knowing, a kind of archaeology of the immediate past, and she finds it. This small, unnatural groove, a deliberate weakness carved into the flint space. It is a wound made by a knowing hand. She lifts her gaze and finds Kale across the dying fire. He is staring into the embers, but he is not seeing them. His face is a ruin of pride and guilt. He feels her eyes on him and looks up. He does not need her to speak. In her gaze, he sees his own reflection. And the truth is laid bare between them. Mara says nothing. She simply holds up the two pieces of the flint head, showing the clean, intentional score arc to the other elders. The knowledge passes from eye to eye, a ripple of cold understanding. This is a moment of terrible clarity in the long arc of human evolution. The recognition that the most dangerous predator can be the one who sleeps beside you. The next morning, the clan gathers. It is not a trial. It is a reckoning. Law stands before them and places the sabotaged flint on a flat rock. He does not speak. He does not have to. Kale stands, his broad shoulders slumped. He looks at the faces around him, faces he has fed, protected, loved. He sees their pain, their fear, and a new, terrible thing, their mistrust. Mara is the one who speaks, her voice thin but as unyielding as stone. You have broken the circle. There is only one punishment for this, not death, for they are not killers of their own kind, but an undoing, an unmindless longing. He is given a single spear, his old, heavy spear, a gourd of water, and a handful of dried meat. He must walk away from the fire, from the safety of the group, from the only life he has ever known. He is no longer clan. He is simply a man. Alone. Kale takes the spear. He looks one last time at Law, whose success cost him everything, and he feels nothing. Not hatred, not envy, only a vast, hollow emptiness. He turns and walks east, towards the rising sun, a solitary figure shrinking against the immense landscape. The clan watches him go, their victory over the poison within them tasting exactly like ash. Kale's lonely footprints are erased by the next wind, a footnote in the unwritten history of our human ancestors. But the choice made by his clan leaves a mark on the very bedrock of our species, the silent judgment. The brutal algebra of their survival was not just about punishing a traitor. It was the forging of a rule. A law whispered into the DNA of society itself. The integrity of the group is paramount. This was a new kind of survival. A defense not against the claws of a lion or the chill of a long winter, but against the complexities of their own expanding minds. The green mine-a-side monster born of pride and fear was not defeated that day. It was merely exiled. It would follow our kind out of Africa, haunting our campfires, fueling our conflicts, and sitting, even now, in the boardrooms and capitals of a world built upon the scarred foundations of these ancient humans. Their struggle is the echo in our own silence. A reminder that the most difficult thing we have ever had to build is trust, and the easiest thing to break is the bond that allows us to call ourselves we. The past is not dead. It is not even past. It is the ghost that taught us how to be human. What happens when the hunger is not for food, but for the unknown?